Neil Brown sucks. Jordan Leslie sucks. The secondary sucks. Somebody sucks. Everybody sucks. That's all we've heard since game one of the season. There's been a lot of negativity around this West Virginia football program, some of it justified. But in this episode today, which is brought to you in part by BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino and Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner Attorneys at Law, I am going to be positive. I'm going to talk about some of the great things going on inside this football program, some of the players that need to be recognized. And we're going to do that right after this word from one of those channel sponsors. Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident or fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com. What is up? Come on in. You have found yourself at another episode of Couz's Corner. Belly yourself up to the bar, make yourself comfortable, and let me serve you up a shot of top-shelf college football content on tap at Couz's Corner today. We're going to be positive. A lot of negativity been thrown at this West Virginia team, some of it justified, including by myself, me, myself, and I. But I've been seeing some recognitions coming out for some of the West Virginia players for their performances. And I thought, you know what? I have criticized this team. I've criticized this coaching staff. And it's time to come out and give some people their flowers, and that's what I'm going to do in this show. So, the first player we're going to talk about is Mr. Hudson Clement. Hudson Clement had a great game against Kansas, 7 catches, 150 yards. Huge game, best game of his career so far, at least according to Coach Brown. And remember, folks, he's only a sophomore. We get him, hopefully, get him for 2 more years. And he got recognized for that by Pro Football Focus, who named him the 4th highest graded player, 4th highest graded receiver in all of Power 4 in week 4. He had a PFF grade of 86.3. That's great. Again, 4th in the whole country. So kudos to Hudson Clement for that performance. And he did it, folks. Let's not forget, he did it against 2 of the best corners in the Big 12, if not in the entire country. Those corners for Kansas are legit. They will probably both play in the NFL. At least one of them will for sure. So it's not like he did it against low-level competition. So hats off to Hudson Clement for that performance. The second player we're going to talk about is also on the offensive side of the ball, and it's who most of you probably expected me to start out with, but it's Garrett Green. And Garrett Green was recognized by the Manning Academy for his performance in the game. And you can read about it over in this article at WVSportsNow.com by Mr. Mike Osty. By the way, I'm proud to partner with WV Sports Now. You can become a part of their Holler, join the Holler, which is their behind-the-scenes and ad-free content. Use promo code Couz at checkout. You will get 40% off a 1-year subscription to the Holler. Again, it's their behind-the-scenes content and their ad-free content, which you can see on the screen now. Type in promo code Couz at checkout to get 40% off a 1-year subscription. But anyway, back to the article. It says Garrett Green wasn't perfect, but he was good enough for West Virginia to win on Saturday and to be named one of the Manning Award Stars of the Week. Green completed 15 of 30 passes with 382 total yards and 3 overall touchdowns. That includes what he did with his feet, by the way. That's why it says total. He was able to overcome 2 interceptions to lead the Mountaineers on a comeback win over Kansas after trailing by 11 points late in the game. Below is from the Manning Award press release about Green's performance, and I quote, Green delivered a pair of touchdown passes in the final 3:27, including the 15-yard game winner with 26 seconds to go as the Mountaineers came from behind to shock Kansas 32-28 in Big 12 action, end quote. And there is the Twitter post by the Manning Award. Green was one of 8 quarterbacks to be given that award for week 4. The next player I'm going to talk about, before we get to the next player, let me just point out, as much crap as we've talked about the defense, and again, some of it justified, especially in that secondary, they have had their struggles. But as much crap has been thrown at the defense, and as much as maligned as they have been, There are 3 players on that side of the ball that have garnered a lot of attention in the last couple of weeks and have gotten some awards and recognition. And we're going to start off with Josiah Trotter, the middle linebacker. He was named, as part of the Maxwell Football Club, the Sean Alexander Freshman Player of the Week. In the Kansas game, he had 11 total tackles, six of those being solo. It's his second double-digit tackle performance of the season in 4 games. Pretty good for a freshman, might I add. And both of them came against Power 4 competition, the other game being Penn State, which was his very first game at the collegiate level. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. Trotter so far has 28 total tackles on the year with 14 solo tackles. He is second behind Anthony Wilson, according to ESPN, with tackles on the team. Second on the team in tackles with 28 per ESPN. So kudos to Josiah Trotter for that performance. You know, West Virginia doesn't play this week, but, man, there are some great Big 12 football games coming up with some very intriguing BetUS odds on some of these games. And the one that's the most intriguing to me is this one between Colorado and UCF. As you see here, according to BetUS, Central Florida, UCF, is a 14-point favorite in this game. The game is in Orlando. The spread on this game was around 11 or so when it first started, if I'm not mistaken. It is now at 14. Apparently, the big money has been coming in for UCF. If you want to place money on this game or any other game and you are looking for a sports book, look no further than BetUS. Right now, you get a 150% bonus, sign-up bonus for signing up on your first deposit. For your second and third deposit, you get 125% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000. Don't forget to take advantage of that today with promo code YouTube150. Again, it's promo code YouTube150 at checkout to take advantage of this offer. Don't forget to please play responsibly. Don't gamble if you don't have the money to do so. You must be 18 years of age. And if you have a gambling problem or someone you know does, please call 1-800-GAMBLER for help. Now let's get back to the show. The second player I want to talk about is also on the defensive side of the ball, and that is Mr. Tyron Bradley. Boy, what a stat. Boy, did he fill the stat sheet up in the Kansas game. He was named the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week by the Big 12 Conference. Listen to this stat line: 7 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception. And one of those, that forced fumble and fumble recovery was on the same play, the last play of the game that won it, that sealed it for the Mountaineers. We all remember that play. He forced 2 turnovers by himself, basically. Great job, Tyron Bradley. Kudos for your performance. He could, if he continues to play at this level, hopefully it's not a one-game snapshot. We've seen that out of players in the past. They play great one game and then they kind of disappear. Hopefully Tyron Bradley continues to play at that level. If he does, he will be one of the best pass rushers in this league, in the Big 12. No doubt about it. Speaking of great pass rushers, let's talk about one Mr. T.J. Jackson. Can't leave him out. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Can't leave out T.J. Sorry. Terrible joke. Sorry. Anyway, for those of you who have listened to the rap group Outkast, you know what I was referring to. Anyway, T.J. Jackson was named Big 12 Newcomer of the Week after Week 3 against Pitt. Nobody talked about it because we were all focused on that heartbreaking loss, and rightfully so, right? But TJ deserves credit for that. And overall on the season so far, he has 17 tackles, which is 4th on the team, and he's only started 2 games, by the way. 3.5 sacks and 8.5 tackles for loss, which just so happens to be tied for 2nd in the country. And, oh, by the way, just today, not long before I recorded this, and I'm recording this, by the way, on Wednesday, before I started recording this, he also received recognition from Pro Football Focus. He leads the entire Power 4. Boy, I sounded like a hick, didn't I? The entire Power 4 in QB rushes, QB hurries, rather, with 10. Leads all of Power 4 with 10 QB hurries, according to Pro Football Focus. So hats off to T.J. Jackson for that, for the way he's played these, really all 4 games this year. Also, hats off to these other players that I named: Josiah Trotter, Tyron Bradley, Hudson Clement, and Garrett Green. Those 5 players right there can catapult this team to win more football games. If all 5 of those guys can continue to play at the level they're playing, and their teammates can continue to take a step up each week, especially that secondary, This team's going to win some football games, folks, but they've got to build on this success. It's not up to these 5 individuals. It takes all 11 on the field. But hopefully these 5 getting recognized will help build confidence. They can continue the success. And especially when you look at the guys on the defensive side of the ball, if they can continue to perform at that level, it will help offset some of the struggles the secondary has had. And it will make their job easier because they won't have to cover guys as long. Maybe they can force more turnovers, gain more confidence. It turns into a snowball potentially. Hopefully that's what we see. And hopefully Hudson Clement, hopefully that was his coming out party. And he continues to play at that level and he becomes the, no doubt, wide receiver 1 for this team and gives Garrett Green somebody he can go to when he's in need, right? Every quarterback needs that guy he can trust in a time of need. I'm just going to throw it to Hudson and let him get the ball. Maybe he's that guy. That will help the offense moving forward and will even hopefully open up the run game. So hats off. I wanted to give those guys their flowers, those players their flowers. They have been playing good football, whether all games, just one game, whatever. I thought, you know what? At some point, man, the negativity just drags you down. Even as a fan, sometimes it's nice to recognize the positives. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not sitting here predicting they're going to win the conference or anything like that. But I want to give at least these individual players their kudos and their flowers. The VIP member shout-outs of this episode are Brad Cheney, P.W. Riggs, Appalachia Africa Twin, Big Aaron, Eric Flowers, and Bob Swinger. To join this group, hit the join button below or go to my channel homepage and hit join there. Become a VIP member today. There are 2 levels, the club level and the pub level. One's $4.99, one's $2.99. They both come with perks. Hit the button. It'll tell you all about it. Also want to give another shout out to my channel sponsors, BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, and Katz Counter, Stone Street, and Buckner Attorneys at Law. Thank them for helping me keep the lights on. Don't forget to check out the Holler and use promo code Couz at checkout to get your 40% discount on a 1-year subscription. I appreciate you tuning into this episode, and don't forget to watch the one in the corner of your screen right now. It might be another one you like. Hope the rest of your day is top shelf. And don't forget to cue country roads.